The district surrounding Columbia Street, Fort Wayne's own D.C. Call it what you will, it is a special street for more reason than one. And tonight, in the first of our two-part series on the future of the Landing, we're getting all access to what will be one day a district of bars, condos, apartments, and dreams. It is a rickety ride to the final floor.
When we get to the sixth floor, just be mindful of Walter the pigeon.
A full-time, freeloading feathered resident whose time is about to run out. Because at some point in a future less than 2 years from now...
It's stable. These are concrete floors. And like I said, it's about as sturdy comes.
This building, sturdy and stable on firm footing, will be reborn. The floor would likely be condos or apartments.
Could be. That's really developer dependent. I think that, it's probably a good bet that it would be residential. At least the upper floors would be.
And it's not alone. This is one of how many buildings the trust owns?
7.
7. Okay.
Yep.
And this is the biggest one?
This is the biggest one.
7 buildings on the Landing, Columbia Street, a one-way street that looked like it was headed towards a dead end, to cue a lonesome tumbleweed or two, a road of flaky white sycamores begging for a fresh start. And now, the beginning of that beginning is just about here.
I've been to Fort Wayne all my life. I haven't seen this kind of excitement in decades.
The idea? Turn this to this. A bustling street of businesses, bars, apartments, and life to make Columbia the hub of hubbub that it once was.
This street goes back over 100 years, and everything that was important that happened in Fort Wayne happened on this street.
The Erie Canal came right through here till they filled it up and built a railroad. But for nearly 60 years, all the goods and merchandise that made it into or left Fort Wayne came through here. Columbia Street wasn't just an important street, it was the most important street in Fort Wayne. At some point, though, it slowed down. Then in the 70s, the Landing went through a renaissance of sorts. Mac Parker remembers it well, helped plot a renewal with Joan White, planted those trees 45 years ago.
And we came down on a Sunday morning and planted little bitty sycamores like that. And now there's these sycamores you see out there.
Those were the days of the big wheel and pickle, but it didn't last, and Columbia slid back. So when this latest effort was announced, the skeptics scoffed. And why should people believe this time around that this project's going to work?
Well, before they had a number of developers, a number of different investors, a number of different business owners. There wasn't any theme, there wasn't any consistency, there wasn't really any real attempt to bring all of these buildings together.
And there wasn't, like today, a collective effort between the city.
We've been working on this for a long time. This just didn't happen overnight.
Greater Fort Wayne, Inc.
This is going to be a place of interest, of gathering, of density.
And the Downtown Development Trust. You had to do more than just come up with money, you had to do some convincing, too.
Well, a lot of things. Convincing, arm twisting, cajoling, calling people to their civic duty.
Nearly $3 million of trust dollars to buy 7 buildings, 2 parking lots, millions more to develop. You could have all this done by sometime 2018?
That's target, yeah.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of hustle.
Yeah, it is. Time for Walter the pigeon.
I've run through a few pair of shoes and suits, and it's a little messy, Brett.
To find a new home. And to find and fund the perfect mix of businesses to get in on the ground floor. But in order to make all that happen, they needed a developer with just the right experience. So be sure to join us tomorrow night. We'll introduce you to the Model Group. We traveled to Cincinnati to learn more about them and how they're using lessons learned in the Over the Rhine project here in Fort Wayne. That's in the second part of our series, District of Columbia.